Hello, everybody. My name is Dr. John Oda. I've spent 30 years in the mental health field working with parents and teens. That is my specialty. And I also, guys, did seminars and workshops, work with some of the best from Chet Holmes, Tony Robbins, Jay Abraham, Stephen Covey, the list goes on. I'm blessed. But what I'm going to speak about today is parents and teens and preteens. And that's literally my passion. That's what I actually love to do. Let me explain to you why. The reason why I do this. As a child, growing up, I grew up in Michigan City, Indiana, 45 miles west of Chicago. As a child, I had a severe stuttering challenge. And having a severe stuttering challenge, I used to get teased. And people used to call me, oh, duh, stupid, you dumb, you retarded. And of course, throughout the years, I grew out of it by the grace of God. And I empowered myself. I remember my first grade teacher, she was on, and she told me I'd never finish 8th grade. Not high school, but 8th grade. The words of that she used stayed with me, right? And it was almost like I was hit by lightning because I felt the aftershock through the rest of my life. So of course, until I broke it. So what I did, everybody, was I started working with parents and teenagers. I did that for 23 years. I wrote a book about 7, 8 years ago. It's called Connecting with Your Teen. And love the book, love everything else. And what I did was, about 8 years ago, I took a little retirement per se, started doing more of business coaching, seminars, workshops, working with businesses, growing the companies, which I still love and which I still do. And then what I did was, I wanted to come back to the field again. I wanted to give my knowledge that I had because I have a 90% success rate. Success rate to me is whatever kid that I work with, they at least went to college. And I thought some lawyers, med schools, masters. I mean, we have a list of kids who really actually succeeded, which I'm really proud of, right? But I'm proud of them because they did the work. They had issues that you couldn't even believe, from incest, from child abuse, from suicide attempt, for the list goes on. So I've dealt with this stuff for years. So what I did was I took a break and started really focusing on more business stuff, which I still do right now. But what happened was about 6 months ago, I did some research. I live in Orange County, so right by Newport Beach, Irvine. Smack is literally in the middle of both of them. And of course, this area is supposed to be more affluent people. We're not supposed to have those type of issues. So I did stats just to figure out, okay, what's going on in the teen market or preteen market. And I was surprised. And here's my shock that I had. The surprising shock that I had, that they had the highest suicide rate of kids killing themselves. Pressure for school, not making the right grades, because the Irvine school system is top of the line. So they have a lot to actually deal with. Then I looked down the overdose, kids doing drugs and then dying. Over 400 in the last 2 years. The highest bullying rate. I was amazed. And I'm like, okay, how can a high affluent area be like this? And of course, then I said, parents are parents, teens are teens. Anywhere that I go, I work with, so let me go with the background. I worked in Indiana and Chicago. I opened up 3 residential units from the ground up. I had mentors that I work with even today, which are just unbelievable. I worked in Portland, Oregon. I worked in the state of Washington. So I worked all over the place. And I used to give, when I was living in Portland, Washington, seminars, weekend programs for parents and teens to totally change their life. And I believe in immersion. I believe in to turn decade into days. Opposed to going 1 hour per day for the next 10,000 years, you go 3 days and change their lives. And that's what I did. I used a model that actually changed people's lives, their quality of lives. First, they didn't want to go to the programs, and now they love to go to the programs. So you probably say, why am I telling you this? Because why I'm telling you this, because there's a need. And it's my job is to fill a need. And of course, I'll still do what I do for business coaching because I love it. But my first love was working with teenagers and preteens. And the reason why I love it so much, because I dealt with challenges. I dealt with being bullied. But of course, being 6'6", I didn't get bullied much. But I dealt with being teased. I dealt with people telling me I'm stupid, even the nun. Even I had a priest who told me that black people are not worth anything because of the Iran-Contra. So, working with teenagers and preteens and parents, I'm very good at that because this is what I do because this is what I've done and this is what I experienced number one job is show parents to enhance their skills. A lot of parents think that we have a lot of at-risk kids if they come from the inner city. All kids is at risk. Of course, if the inner city is at risk also, they get drugs, they go inside their gangs because they get their 6 needs being met. 6 needs are, well, the 4 needs being met because they get security, they get variety, they get connection, love, and they get feeling significant or feeling important, right? So they get their needs being met. Evergain gives all that. If they're not getting that stuff at home, and that's why these kids join gangs. But on the affluent side, we have a lot of the parents who's working, making great money here in Irvine, or else in Newport Beach, or else in the Orange County area. They're making lots of money here. But here's a flip side. They have no time for their kids. So they give their kids cars and all this great money. So the kids will take the car and take the money and they'll do whatever that they want to. And then they'll start buying drugs and hanging out with the wrong people. Why? Because every kid is at risk. Every kid needs a stable environment to be in. That's how you grow. If you look at an oak tree and then if you plant an acorn, 1,000% of the time, an oak tree will come up. Why? Because of the environment. Not an apple tree, a pear tree, a plum tree, but an oak tree. And what I tell parents is, and preteens and teenagers, what environment are you on or at or what are you encountered to? Because your environment would dictate your life. I wrote another book recently called Life is a Garden. The 7 spiritual principles of manifesting every area of your life. And the picture is my dad 41 years ago. So here it goes. When I wrote this book, right, I wrote about my childhood. I wrote about the certain issues. I wrote about environments. I wrote about even parenting stuff as well. Because my number one goal is to change people's lives. So I'm going to come on here once a week and give tips to parents and teenagers and preteens. I'm going to start doing seminars and workshops, weekend ones, to totally change the quality of people's lives. Because I've been there. I've done that. And I really know without a doubt there's still a need. Guys, if you have any questions, any concerns, feel free to contact me. I'll be more than welcome or more than happy to answer any of your questions, guys. Till next time, take care and always God bless you and yours. Bye for now.